Hey, what's up guys? Today I have a 6th generation iPad with a cracked screen. So today we're going to go ahead and walk through replacing the screen on a 6th generation iPad, so follow along. So before we get started, if you look on the back of your iPad, down at the bottom, it's kind of hard to read, but you'll be able to see that it actually has a model number and a serial number. So if you go online on this website, you'll go ahead and be able to type in that serial number and it'll tell you everything you need to know about your iPad. So this model is the 6th generation iPad, 9.7 inch, and it has the cellular as well. So when you go ahead and get the parts, you're gonna want to make sure that you're getting the parts for the right iPad. So I went onto iFixit's website and went through and typed in exactly the model that I have with the cellular, and I went ahead and bought everything here. So I'll go ahead and show you the pieces that I got. So this is the new iPad glass and the digitizer. I opted to go with the eye opener kit to go ahead and help loosen up the adhesive and make sure that we get the front screen off even though it's already cracked. I don't want to hurt myself or make the iPad any worse or possibly fry something out. So I went ahead and got this kit, which I'll open it up and show you what's inside. I'll try to do this without it spilling out all over the place. You got these nice little thin pieces of plastic which can be used to slip in between the body, the metal frame, and the glass. You got this piece here that you can actually microwave this and then set it along the outside strips, the perimeter of the iPad to loosen the adhesive. You have a suction cup to get the screen loose. I believe this little piece here is used to pry the connector for the battery. A little plastic pry tool. Here's our screwdriver and the bits that are needed to remove the screws to get into the iPad, some tweezers and a plastic nylon spudger, and a couple thin like guitar pick kind of deals that you can use as wedges to help pry the screen off. So I'm also going to be following the iFixit guide, so I'll leave links in the description for all that stuff, so that you can follow the same guide that I'm using, as well as this video to go ahead and get into your iPad and repair it. Last but not least, we got the sticky strips, which, as they like to call them, the adhesive strips. I call them sticky strips. So once we get this screen off, these strips are designed to be placed onto the new screen so that it will hold it into place. More or less, that's what keeps the screen intact. So we're gonna go ahead and walk you through all the steps. Okay, so as recommended by the iFixit guide, the screen is cracked, so I'm just going to take some tape and place it over the screen in some of these problematic areas to prevent the screen from getting worse or cutting me, basically. Okay, so that should pretty much cover the area that is cracked. Also, if you can see, this home button is damaged. This has already been repaired once, not by me, and the home button is crooked, it's misaligned. Don't know if you can make that out, but it's yeah, it doesn't work. So I'm hoping that I can get this apart successfully and get that home button fixed with the new screen. We'll see. Okay, so the eye opener has been sitting on here for at least a minute. So what the next couple steps here show is that we're gonna take the little suction cup and place it about halfway up along the side, and then they want us to take one of the opening picks and just kind of work its way in there. So let's remove this, put it here, and start to pull. There we go. So we got that pick in there. So there's the pick. So now with this glass, I'm just going to go ahead and just see if I can keep pulling a little bit out on the suction cup and just moving this to break that seal. You don't want to force anything here, just lightly. You know, we don't want to break any of the connectors or anything, so I'm just lightly using force to pull. And as you can see, this whole left side now is pretty much, it's broken free. Okay, I am actually going to let the eye opener do its thing. And I'm just going to place that on the right side now for 1 minute. Okay, so we're in. I'm gonna leave that pick there. Take the eye opener and just place it along the bottom edge. So this is why they give you several of these little picks, so you can kind of leave them in the edges. Probably a good idea if you're watching this to do that from the start, unlike I did. So, it says to open the front glass like a book. Get that off of there. So we're gonna open it this way, just like a book. Okay, so it just says remove any tape obscuring the LCD screws. So just gonna make sure that the 4 screws right here, over here, right here, and right here look good. These are small Phillips, so. Okay, so it says to take the spudger and just lift the LCD up enough to grab it with your finger and flip it over slowly and carefully like a book as well. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to remove the single Phillips screw here. It's funny, you can tell this one's been in. There's 3 screws that are supposed to hold the LCD down that they are not in there. So your LCD should be screwed into place. This one is not, and I do not have screws for it. So our LCD is completely free because of that. I'll get that up out of the way for now. All right, so first we're gonna go ahead and remove this ribbon cable here. So right here, we're gonna use the flat end to lift the flap up, which it just did. And from there, we're gonna just remove the ribbon cable, pulling it straight out, very gently, like so. Next, we're gonna use our spudger to flip these little ribbon cables up for the LCD, or the glass panel. So now our glass panel is completely detached. We're gonna have to transfer over the home button over to the new screen. So we're just gonna gently peel the home button off. There we go. So use the little plastic spudger tool to peel the bracket off. There we go. And there's our home button. So I'm going to go ahead and take this home button and put it just how it was in the other iPad. Looks pretty good. Get the glass plugged back in. I'm going to slide this right over here to help hold it up. I'm going to plug the LCD or the glass panel back in. It'll be helpful with these little tweezers to help push it in. Plugged back in. Not a great way of doing it. So that's kind of tricky. Again, I don't have the screws to hold it back in because I didn't do the repair last time, but it does snap into place, and we'll release this from the battery. One last little screw before we put the screen back in. This is for the battery compartment. Make sure you put that one in before you lay your LCD down. Okay, so now we're just going to lay our LCD down very gently and put those 4 screws in. Put the screen into place, turn the power on, make sure everything is working. I'll go ahead and remove that. So the home button does work. It doesn't feel quite as tactic as it should, but it does work. The click isn't right, but if you press it, it does back out of the app. So that's good, and it is staying into place. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the power back off. And we'll go ahead and put the sticky strips on there and close it back up for good. All right, so there you have it. Here is a successful repair. I changed out the screen on this 6th gen iPad. The home button, as you can see here, I'll try to get it for you. I straightened it out a lot better than it was, so it's actually functional now. So if I power this guy off and just press the home button, I can actually use it to get into the iPad now. It rocks a little bit, but again, this was repaired previously by somebody and they didn't do a very good job, but the screen is good. I'm able to click and get in and out of apps. So the home button and the screen are working good. It looks good, and overall it's not too difficult of a repair. I am a certified Mac technician, but I'm not certified to work on iPads or iPhones, and I've never changed the screen on an iPad. So following along to this video and the iFixit website, I'm sure that if I could do it, you could do it. So good luck, thanks for watching, and as always, we'll see you guys in the next video.